Welcome to the Global Business Talk Show here on WABS 1170, brought to you by the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce, bringing you leaders and experts from across many industries because your business bottom line is crucial. Stay up to date with the show and community at HaitiDistrict.com.
Welcome to the Global Business Talk Show. My name is Janan. We are so happy to have you this morning, where we always promise to bring you the best, the competent. And surely today we will have a guest to you, but a friend to me. We will have Miss Shirley Auxais, who's going to talk to you about several things that she's doing in the community, not only to empower women to help the children, but this young lady here has a very, very busy schedule, and she's going to tell you a little more about what she does, what she's been doing. Though very young, but she's been very active in the community. She's been very active as a teacher, as a professional as well, because she deals with computers, and I thought it was very important for us to have her here, especially in this time where people are forced to use the computer, people are forced to use the internet. Welcome, Shirley. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. You know what? You made me feel like I'm only 5'3", but you just made me feel like I was 6'4".
Oh my God, one of those tall girls.
No, thank you so much, and I'm really happy to be here on the Global Business Talk Show. Thank you, Janan, for inviting me. I appreciate it. Hello to everyone, and thank you so much for giving us our time, because I know that you guys have so many different avenues. There are streaming channels, and there are so many different podcasts and everything that people have a choice. And at least this morning, you chose us, and you chose to listen to Janan and see what the Global Business Talk Show has to offer to you guys today. And thank you so much for listening and tuning in.
Tell us a little about your background. I know you're into computers.
Oh my goodness.
But I know most people who heard your name and they're like, isn't this that girl who? They know her somewhere else.
Yeah.
But her background really is into a computer.
Oh my goodness. So I started off as a network engineer way long time ago. I call myself, I am a person of the times. Whatever the time calls for, that's normally what I'm thrown into. And I've been blessed my entire life. So I started off as a network engineer for a really long time ago. I've worked for several different companies. And when I got pregnant, I realized that I could not have 3 pages and 2 cell phones anymore and sleep at work. As a matter of fact, I have a really cute story I'll tell you this offline, about when I forgot my daughter at the daycare center.
Because you were busy working on computers?
Yes, it was horrible. I was such a horrible mom. But then at the time, I realized that I had a niche for training people and for teaching. One of my colleagues said, hey, you would be a really good teacher. So I ventured off into, and I started to teach computer hardware and software in high schools. And then...
And I think I remember that time. That's when you moved to a big company in Boca.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So then I was working for a company called PC Professor for a really long time then. And then I worked for a couple of high schools. I met someone really, one of my ex-classmates when I was in college. I met him and he was like, hey, you know what? There's a position coming to open up at Broward College. So I spent almost 12 years as an adjunct professor at Broward College, where I created several programs. I love to find free things for people. And then one of the things that I help Broward College do is for their A+ and their CCNA program, I helped them find free vouchers for the students to take the test for free, because that's what was expensive.
Yes, it
You can get financial aid for a lot of things, but when it comes to testing in my industry, it really becomes really difficult for you to get the testing.
And you need all those certification. It's just not
exactly.
the knowing.
No, not at all. They always ask, what certs do you have? What certs do you have? And then it comes hand in hand, the knowledge and the certs. So I had some friends that I used to work with at the company called CompTIA, and I also had some friends at Microsoft, and they were able to give our students the testing for free.
Wow.
And then also gave us a couple of vouchers. So if the student passed a certain level, then they would be able to take the test for free. So I did that at Broward College. That was very successful. And then lo and behold, while I was doing that, I became an IT director for a private Jewish day school. So then my technology skills also grew, as well as being a teacher.
So you were able to combine both
exactly.
what you learned, your trade, and what you are very passionate
right. One of the things that I thought that I was never a person, I would never thought that I was a salesperson. Yeah, I never thought that I could sell. People were like, oh my gosh, you'd be so good. I was like, no. Until Microsoft and Intel came knocking on my door, and I moved to Tampa to sell educational products.
Really?
Yes.
Well, since it's still technology, and then what you love, which is teaching, so then it becomes easy. So selling is not easy, but if you are selling something that you're comfortable doing, technology, or that you are passionate about, which is teaching, so you just didn't even realize that you were selling.
I didn't think I was selling. And then if anyone is in the sales business or want to go into that market, I would always take it as you're just sharing the information that you already have. And when you're passionate about something, don't try to sell something that you don't believe in. That's where you always get messed up. If you don't believe in the product, and that's where, it became really easy for me. I was working for 2 large companies, and I was representing them on the education side. And I found out that all I had to do is talk about educational buying markets, buying seasons, what teachers like, what administrators don't like, how you approach them, how do you talk to them, how do they purchase. So I worked for Microsoft and Intel for 3 years at a distributor in Tampa for 3 years, and then someone else scooped me up, and I started selling for them. And then I got homesick. I missed my people. I miss being
you miss
home.
South Florida.
Yes, I miss South Florida so much. So I decided to scale back and come back to South Florida. But I wanted to come back to South Florida with a purpose. I really wanted to help out, and I really wanted to come back with all of my years and years of experience. When I fell and busted my knee, that's a literal term. Like when I failed, period. Failing as a mom, I always felt sometimes because I worked so hard.
Yes.
Yeah, and then there are times that I would try something and it wouldn't work out. But all of my successes and failures made me who I am today. And one of the things that I never stopped doing, I never stopped sharing information. And one of the things that we were sharing before we got on air was the fact that I believe that the reason why I am still standing and I'm still successful today is because
you give back.
I always give back. I don't hold anything.
I think you give first, and then you give
I
back.
do give back. Yeah.
You give first.
Well, as you know me
for a long time.
A long time, yeah.
So she always gives first, I think, and what she gives first is always that welcoming smile.
Thank
then
you.
when she makes money, she gives back.
Give it back.
She gives back, and though you were here, you were at Broward College, you went to Tampa, you also have a charity, and we're gonna talk a little bit about it later because we want to encourage people to sponsor it as well, because you can't be doing the work by yourself because you've been doing it for over 10 years now. I've known for over 10 years, but I know that your mom has been doing it for maybe over 20.
So could you believe that my daughter is 16?
Oh my God.
So it's been 15 years since we opened the charity. Yeah, so it's been 15 years since we've opened the charity.
But your mom was doing charity.
My mom has always,
informally.
Informally. Yeah, I had to. I like incorporated it. I put it in a nice little box so that she can get her stuff together.
What they say, the engineers, they
structure.
I like the structure. They like
like right now, if you look in my bag right now,
process.
I have like a folder, and in every single pocket has my mom's stuff.
Your projects.
And I have my projects.
Whatever you're working on.
And I like to separate it. And it drives my family crazy.
But I think it's a very good thing because that is what helps you do so much, because we often talk about time management.
Right.
And I think it doesn't matter how smart you are, how much experience you have, if you cannot manage your time, you'll just be sitting here feeling overwhelmed and eventually frustrated.
Right. Before we go any further, I just wanted to send a shout out to everyone to make sure that you guys are keeping safe and that you guys are staying safe and practicing social distancing. This thing is real. I don't care anymore about how it was created or what's the end of it. But right now it's hitting home for me, especially. I have a cousin of mine, one of my favorite cousins, actually. He taught me how to ride a bike, and he passed away. Yeah, he just passed away yesterday after being in the hospital in New York. Yeah, for 5 days.
I feel that it's just so funny that we're using the word social social distancing now, when I think in the beginning we felt like this was so distant from us. We felt like it was from another continent. It was from the other people.
Because China's like so far away.
It was so far.
And
then now we're doing social distancing when we didn't even realize that it was in our backyard.
Yep, it was right there.
Unfortunately, and I get to hear our stories every day. Prayer line, people calling, people who had buried many friends prior last year, and now they still have to deal with this.
Yep.
And it's very hard, and since we're not going to tell you the detail and panic you, because we are trying not to have panic
exactly.
attacks.
And then that's another thing. I was listening to a podcast earlier, and one of the things that even while you're home, they're asking us to build our immune systems. And you know, DJ, in your life, I know that's something that you live on, building your immune.
I've been practicing social distancing for a long time because my immune's been compromised too many times.
Exactly. So then another thing that, you know, we can practice at home is just to be kind to each other. Don't bring up any arguments that are not important.
And you know what you're saying is so important. For the past week, I've turned my phone off for the simple reason that you tell people you need to build your immune system, and everybody's thinking, well, I need to go somewhere and buy vitamins. There's two things that personally I could attest to: the lack of sleep, and the stress.
Yes,
those two things, they are not connected to any pharmaceutical company. Those things will bring your immune system so down.
It will.
You do not sleep. I don't care how many pills you take, how many vitamins or many shots you're taking. It's just bad. If you are stressed over arguments, over
bills,
worrying about what's happening, and if your child is out, if your husband has to go to work, and you're thinking, oh my God, what could happen? All that is building stress. And the stress automatically kills your immune system. And we find out nowadays that it's not only if you have two, it has to you only have to have one,
right?
Whether it's diabetes and
anything
people,
like
we
me,
have it.
Like I have high blood pressure and asthma. So it's like
eczema. All you need is one of those.
Girl, please, I take a spoon of Louis Muscatel every day. I'm telling you that right now.
You know, them Haitian be always talking about that castor oil.
I have the Louis Muscatel.
This is the Robitussin of the black people.
Yes, I don't care. I take it with some gingembre. I take it with ginger.
Then should I give you some aloe vera as well?
Yes, please. As long as it don't stink. Because I went to pull some aloe vera the other day and I almost threw up. Yes.
But what do you do? What I do, I just cut it and I scoop the gel. And I put it in a pot and I just close it. And everybody's talking about how sour it is. And what I do, I put it on my smoothie with the banana.
Really?
Because the smell of the banana, the sweet smell of the banana makes you feel like it's not there.
I need to write that down.
Or you could blend it with pineapple.
Really?
Girl, I've been doing this thing for 15 years.
Of course, yeah. And so I didn't. My boyfriend came in the house with the aloe vera yesterday.
It smells.
I kicked him out because after a while he started smelling. I'm like, it's coming out your pores.
It does smell. And just so we say, because I've been doing it for a long time, just so we could tell the folks, you cannot be taking it every day, even though you think it's gonna help, because it's also a blood thinner.
Really?
Yeah. So, and that's the reason why eventually we'll have a natural doctor to come and talk to people the dosage.
Right.
We don't know about it.
But how do you know? Because you're scooping it.
Well, I take 1 spoon every 3 days.
Okay.
Just enough.
So that's your little teaspoon or your
a little teaspoon. Okay. Yeah, not too much. Now enough about the coronavirus.
Sorry. Everybody's inundated with
track.
That. All right, cool.
So Miss Shirley was telling you about all the serious thing that she does when it comes to IT, when it comes to network administration. She's a network engineer, and she's also a teacher. And most of you who are listening probably heard her somewhere else.
Yes.
But she does do fun things, and I think that's what she does to distress.
Yes,
I do. Because when she's not with all those books and all the wires and all those computers, what she also does, she MC.
Yes.
She likes to talk.
Yes,
she's a radio host as well.
Yes, I am.
And I think that's the time that she finds to be, okay, well, I'm going to tell them what I feel, how I feel, and how I see it.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's always so pleasant to see you.
Thank you.
Getting on stage and talking. And one of the things that I like about her is she have like a switch, but not one of those old switch that goes flip-flop. It's like when you put your hands on it and you just, the light is off. So she goes from serious, to holding a crowd together, and to the next minute she just gets them all rowdy and having fun and acting crazy.
Yeah, I think the last one, the most fun one that I had was at Art's Garage when Tiffany was there.
Oh, yes.
We had a lot of fun then.
You had a lot
That
of
was
fun.
like lighthearted. The musicians were like into it. The
And
crowd
the groove,
the
the crowd
was
so
so
cozy
together.
and
Yeah,
welcoming.
I
Yes,
love that.
It was a fun
The
time.
one that I didn't like too much was Bitova.
Oh.
That was horrible because we had to like shush the crowd so that he can talk. And I don't like having to like you have to reprimand the crowd in a
Well, but
sense.
you know it very well because you're a teacher. You know how to tell those students, oh, listen, we're
Yeah, that
having
was-
too much fun.
Yeah, that was kind of tough.
Doing those events, oftentimes people do not realize how much it takes to do those things.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's like a full-time job because sometimes you have to not only worry about the artists, the crowd, the place.
Right.
And I realized that one of the biggest hurdles for me is making sure that I could match all this together. And I think one of the problems from the last time was it was at a restaurant. So when people are at the restaurant,
They're
sometimes they tend to
eating,
forget
yeah.
themselves and they're eating and they're making noise and then they're watching TV.
Right.
And they just think they're in somebody's backyard.
Exactly.
Whereas when you're more in a concert type area, then they feel like I'm here to listen.
Yeah, they're focused to
they just
listen.
focus.
Yeah. One of the
I
things
would
that
say
yeah,
it's my bad.
well, no, it's still a good. We just had to keep reminding people that I know that you're here to converse with each other, but then you also have a live set up.
Yes.
You know,
and
then
you're here for that. And
yeah.
that's what you're here.
And I think one of our downfalls that night was the fact that we should have served dinner a little later. We should not have
Yes.
opened the restaurant part until so early. And in there we had to choose with the restaurateurs because they want to make money, and then we're there to entertain. You know, so we live and we learn. And you know, when we used to do Jeux de Culture, that was another thing that we had to balance and adjust also.
Yes.
Because my mom actually sold the bouillon and was frying the aka in the back. She was like, "Bouillon Bokovan, it's not selling yet. We need to hurry up. Let's get with it." And I'm like, "No, we can't sell it yet because then it's going to divert the crowd." Exactly.
Yes.
So we wouldn't start serving until after maybe the last act, and then it was okay for people to stay on after the acts were over. You know, for them to enjoy each other's company and stuff like
make
that.
a lot of noise
So,
and talk and chat because they come in late and they never want to go home.
Well, I've been blessed with reading people, reading my students, reading my audience, also on the radio, also reading my guests that I interview to make sure, if I can go deep and then when to pull back a little bit. Because
So what kind of radio is that?
Well, I've done several radio stations. I've been on 1580. I've been on a couple of radio stations Barry.
And what is your show about?
Well, my show is about pretty much what I want it to be about. And, it might be a show of the times. I like to talk about current events. I like to talk about what's going on now, especially having a 16-year-old daughter. OMG. There is so much going on. Like, it's crazy. We have close friends who are having kids that are falling into drugs at this day and age that we should know. We talk about the difference between marijuana and the difference between smoking wax and, what to watch out for our kids. And when they come home with gummy bears, and if they're gummy, that's BS. You should call it. If they're hiding that,
the hookah.
and the hookah, and they're saying, "Oh, I'm just," it's all
Everybody
natural.
else is doing it,
It's like and it's all natural, but no, in Florida it's not legal unless it's medicinal. And I talk about that stuff. I talk about all of that.
That's very good, and that's very good, and it helps with the parents also. And since you are experiencing it, so it's easier for you to talk about it from a parent's perspective.
And I'm not afraid. That's the thing. You know how I am anyway.
Yes.
I'm not
You're not afraid to take any
no.
subject on.
No,
on
not at all. Nope. Not on the radio, face to
you-
face. I don't care. But I just want for us to be aware, because
You're not
as
trying to be disrespectful. You're not trying to be controversial.
No.
You just want people to be aware.
Awareness is really, really important. And I believe that my poor parents, when they came to the United States, we call them just comes, as West Indian parents at the time. My mom was 18. My dad was 25. They knew nothing.
Okay.
So
nobody was there to coach them, to make
No,
them aware of what's
they put
going
me
on.
in Catholic school in Brooklyn and thought I was safe.
Because in
I was
Catholic
getting-
school in Haiti is safe.
Yeah, and that's
so
what
they
you
thought
do.
It was the same thing.
Yeah.
And recently a friend of mine told me that you could come in this country and not understand the reality of this country.
Yeah.
So when you come from Haiti, they put you in a Catholic school, so you don't understand the reality of an African American who was raised here, or a Jamaican, or somebody from Trinidad.
No, they don't. It's like they send you to school
and bring me good
grades,
and
then just bring me good grades. Not understanding that the 3 buses and the 10-block walk that I had to take from.
You got bit up.
I got my sneakers taken. I got my Sunday necklace taken. I had to become a thug between church between Bedford and Rogers and East 45th between Winthrop and Rutland. I had to change back and forth from thug to Catholic school girl just so that I can get home. Yes, it's sad, but that's the reality of who we are as immigrant children. It's getting better now. We're popular now. It's good to be a Zoe. Yes, my daughter. Oh yeah, my daughter parle Creole all the time. My daughter. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But that's what a Zoe's.
You're a Zoe, yeah. Being a Zoe, you're from Miami. When you're from South Florida, you're a Zoe. When you're South Florida and you're a Haitian, you're a Zoe. Yeah, we're a Zoe. Zoe Pound, and then because Zoe Pound was one of the biggest drug dealing pounds, so they pretty much call us Zoes. So now we're Zoes.
And there, I thought it was the French or the Creole translation of a domino.
Oh, I'm so sorry, no, sweetie.
So you see, you're learning. No. we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be coming back to talk more about what Miss Shirley Auxais, what she has been doing for the community. And you stay tuned.
Thank you.
are back to the Global Business Talk Show. We are here with Miss Shirley Auxais. And earlier she was talking about how she teaches, she has a daughter, and she's also a radio personality, and sometimes she's being called upon to MC. And I'm sitting here thinking this is perfect for what we wanted to talk about, which is how we're going to balance life with and after the coronavirus. And you have a wonderful program where people could work at home. So now we're going to go into the fact that you guys didn't know, and we've been hiding it from you, besides doing all these things. And we're going to also talk about the charity. She have her own company, Notary by Cheryl.
Yes.
And then now with the coronavirus, she's trying to help. But then I found out that she's trying to help specific people.
I'm sorry.
Watch out, guys.
I'm sorry. I always find that, especially Haitian women and West Indian women, you know, we're the service workers in our communities a lot of times. And one of the things that we're always looking, it's us who hustle. I'm so sorry.
I'm not going to go there because I got too many male friends.
It's okay. I'll say it. We hustle.
Yes, we hustle.
Whenever that, if even if your husband brings home that amount of money, we actually know how much it really costs to run the home.
And sometimes it's more than what
it is
giving
a lot,
us.
always a lot more than what we get handed, you know. And then I learned that a long time ago with my mom. My mom, although worked as a Wang operator, which was a computer operator for New York Life Insurance Company, also on the weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, ran a beauty shop. No, my mother was a esthetician. Mommy was a she did hair in our basement. Yeah,
so that was a side
hustle. Side hustle. My dad never worked two jobs. My mom always had a side hustle. All my life, my mom had a side hustle. She always did something on the side.
Did 2 jobs with my dad. Did one.
Yeah.
So I guess Haitian men always feel
like
one job is enough.
Yeah. So
you know?
My dad would come home with his carton of cigarettes and then his 2 bottles that he was going to be sipping on that weekend with his friends, and he'd hand my mom the rest of the money. My mom would go,
I think men know how to distress.
You know, my mom would go,
Where's the rest of the money?
And he'd just turn around and keep going. You know, so after she does what she has to do, then she'll go downstairs, and then she had the neighborhood ladies come down, and, you know, she do washing sets and stuff like that. And that's just been something that I've never had one job. I've always had something else. And thank God. The work from home thing that we're about to talk about.
Well, the work from home comes from the coronavirus because you wanted to help women.
Yes.
Please tell those people
how I knew about it was another incident that happened to us. During the Haitian earthquake, I adopted my 3 cousins. 2 of them were middle school. 1 of them was in elementary school. But in the same token, I was not able to go work full time because I also had my daughter at the time. I had to figure out what to do. So I searched and I found a work from home online. I had to get incorporated. I had to open my own business, and I did all of that. I did all of the footwork. Yeah, I borrowed money and from people and everything. And I said, I have something that I really need. And anyway, I got it done. And I would just put on my headset, come home, and I would do customer service, you know, with a client. And then lo and behold, at the end of 15 days, I get a check. It's something just direct deposit into my account. And I was like, oh, okay. And lucky for me, back then, I built my own computer. I had my screens. I built a small office. My daughter and them always knew that when I sat down, that's time the house has to be absolutely quiet.
And this is where we go back to that same issues that we spoke about before, time management.
Exactly.
Because working at home is not for everybody.
No.
Because you cannot be working at home while you're frying your akra.
Nope. I tried.
So once you set up that time is as if you had gone out
to go to work.
To go and work for the man.
Actually, Jinan, you know what I did is I would get dressed. I would go upstairs half an hour before I go on. I'll go upstairs, take a shower, make myself pretty, put on my lip gloss, put on my talon kiki, go back downstairs, because I also felt that I had to have the allure, or I had to feel like I was at work. You have to be in the role.
Yeah. And though you were probably not on TV or on a screen, you only had your headset and your microphone.
But there's something about how you look makes you how you feel, especially as women. If we look good, we feel good. You know, like even with this whole coronavirus, I wake up every morning. I shower. I get dressed for work.
Even if your office is downstairs.
What you talking about? In the corner of my bedroom. No, but I do have my office is downstairs, but then my office is downstairs, and when I go downstairs and I open that door and I close, I'm working. And my family has become, I think even the dog knows when I'm in there, don't bother me.
Don't even bother.
No, don't bother me. So then that's become something. And so then with this whole thing going on, and on the 13th of March, when my school told me that we're not coming back on Monday, over the weekend, a couple of my aunts were let go from retail work. A couple of my friends could not go back to work because they did actually physical work, and they were not deemed essential workers. I'm like, what in the world are my people gonna do? You know,
you give them a job.
So I thought about it overnight, and I called two of my friends. I was like, hey, I have something for us. And they were like, what? I said, give me 3 days. So I called the company. I got set up again and everything. And then I knew that they had computers at home, but I knew that they didn't have the funds. But I knew I was going to get, when I get paid, I knew I would be able to pay for it because they had to pay for their training and beyond training. So I had enough. I put aside $500 and I gave them $250 each to get started. And I knew it was just to encourage them. You know, I didn't have
because
much.
When you get let go and until they find out their unemployment checks, they need to get going. You were trying to fill the gap.
Yeah, just at least something, you know. I was lucky, you know, and I'm very lucky. I have a current job where
you're not lucky, you're blessed.
I'm blessed, very blessed. I don't think it has anything to do with luck. I am very blessed because I happen to have a job where I worked on as a contractor, and my contract is for a year, and I get paid regularly, and then they kept me on. I built the robotics lab for them, and then now from home they told me to figure out how you're going to teach our kids robotics.
Not many people have that option.
No. So here I am now, and they told me you have until April 20th. So I'm like, okay, good, so I can breathe. But then how am I going to help the people around me? Yes. You know, how am I going to help my girlfriends and my friends and my community do the same thing because they don't have those options? So I spoke to my family, and then I said, I would like to offer the same work from home, but I have to figure out how am I going to get the money because a lot of people don't have computers at home.
That's right. Many people who are very reluctant. And I still have one person at the chamber. She says, Janan, I'm not sending you email. I'm just doing it the old way. Don't send me text. You just need to call me.
Well, that's kind of difficult because at 10 o'clock this evening, I have a Zoom meeting with my brother in California and my mom.
I mean, we have no choice but to do that. And I'm going to take the opportunity as well, because you mentioned Zoom, if people need to find out about meeting places that are safe, because Zoom is going to be overcrowded.
Yeah.
And I know for my people who are lawyers and doctors, if they did not have their electronic medical record in place where they could continue seeing the patient, because without seeing a patient, you are not going to get reimbursed by Medicaid or by Medicare.
Right.
There's a software called Doxy. It's DOXY.me, M-E. And one of the things that is very good about it, it's HIPAA compliant.
Yes.
And we have to be very careful about those things. And people need to understand they need resources.
Yeah.
You know, oftentimes people think they could just go and just do something without knowing, and later on they have to just backtrack and
learn it again. So
now you're gonna be on Zoom.
Yeah. So I have to do Zoom later on. And what I do is I'm creating this. It's not a charity yet. You know, something that I just recruited 5 people. I have
5 people to work.
5 people to work. Yeah.
On your team, so that they could get paid.
Yes.
While they don't know whether or not they're gonna have unemployment or whatever money is similar.
And they get paid with a 1099. So then that way it does, even if they were whatever it is later on, they can always, when they file their taxes, they can just deal with that then. So a lot of the jobs online, they start at anywhere between $12 an hour up to $15 an hour. There are bonuses, and I'm not talking like stuff that I haven't done. I've done it. I'm doing it because I like to know. I don't have time for it.
Most people are going to tell you, well, I don't sell.
No, it's not selling. For example, one of them is customer service, you know, through a cruise line.
Which is what they've been doing, whether they were working at, I'm sorry to say it, Walmart or Publix, because they do have to provide customer service.
Exactly.
So therefore, it's not a job that you're just giving them. It's a job that they have to earn. Interview and earn. Yeah.
They have to earn it. And then they go through a really, really rigorous process. Not that I'm scaring anyone, but just for you to show how serious it is. There's a language test. They add, you know, there's a computer test, you know, to make sure that, you know, that you are literate enough.
And there should be a personal test, because not everybody has the personality.
There is a personality test, because there are different customer service questions that they ask you.
Yes.
You have to have you have to be able to multitask.
Okay.
You know, like, for example, if you're servicing a customer and then you need to get help for them, you need to be able to put them on hold, get the help for them, meanwhile research your own thing.
That's right.
You know, and then after a while, but one of the good things that I like about the way that they structure structure everything, you're not by yourself. You're not left alone. You have
coaches.
You have coaches, exactly. And you have other veterans that are on the phone that's probably been servicing the clients too. So if anyone is interested, I know that the people that are helping me put this out, because I'm not doing it by myself.
Okay.
I don't have permission yet to say who's helping me yet.
But you could give your phone number and your website so they could contact you, because obviously if they don't have a phone and they don't know how to go on the internet, you are not seeing them because there's not a place for them.
So they can reach me directly. My phone number is 727-735-1098. Always reach me on my website. It's Notary by Shirl. That's the word notary, the word by, B-Y, Shirl, SHIRL.com. I decided to keep that as a business name as well, because that's what I've always...
She's always been a notary.
Shirley have been for 25 years.
Always been a mobile notary for, oh my God, longer than your daughter.
Yes. I've always done this. Now, through that, even if you're interested in becoming a notary, I can coach you through that too. And it's not like I'm charging you for it. I already have the little package where I can email you. You can become a mobile notary, a signing agent. Right now, Florida was just okayed to do e-notarization. So you can sit at home and notarize people's documents. So you can always also do like mortgage signings and real estate signings. I get those like 4 or 5 times a month. Yeah. And then that's about $90 to $150 per signing.
Per signing.
Yeah. Per signing. And then now with the coronavirus going on, I don't meet anyone at their homes. I meet them in a public place. Mm-hmm.
Just like you're meeting me right now.
Yeah.
Social distancing.
They have to sign something saying that they weren't sick or anything like that before I even go to their homes. And then just to play it safe, we go to a public place where I know that they sanitize. So some place like Starbucks, they sanitize
everything.
Every hour, every half hour on the out. So then I will go there. We practice our social distancing. I give them the documents. They sign them, they give them back to me.
And you notarize
them? And I notarize them at home. I don't stay there to notarize them.
Okay.
I go over them, I notarize them, and then I'll take them to FedEx afterward.
Perfect. There's so many ways, and we are so lucky that at the Chamber we thought about a great theme, not even knowing what was going to happen. And our theme this year is prepare for the opportunity. And oftentimes people do not realize that throughout life, whenever you have an opportunity to learn something, to do something, to help somebody, those things eventually will serve you when it's time for you to grow. I have people who've been tutoring. Mm-hmm. I have people who are interpreters. I have people who are translators. And, it's funny that a lot of people didn't even realize that could have been their full-time job.
Right.
And now it's very important. It's needed. I have a friend of mine. She's been a teacher in New York for the past 25 years, but she was so reluctant to be a tutor online, And when my son was growing up, I was telling her about the virtual schooling and everything. She says, oh my God, I don't think I'm going to be able to take it. But now she's forced to do it. It's either that or you get your early package.
Imagine, I thought that I was out. I thought for sure. I'm a robotics teacher for the past 4 years. In addition to doing what I was doing in Tampa with Microsoft and stuff, I've been building or consulting robotics camps or robotics club. I just finished building this $261,000 robotics center for a school. Mm-hmm. And then they said, okay, so now that you built it and you put it together, now you have to teach it and write the curriculum. Mm-hmm. Fine. I'm in the classroom with all these robots. So when the 13th came and they said, okay, you're all going home, don't come back, take what you need. I can't teach. I can't bring my robots. The kids do not have the robots at home. But I found a way and I can't wait. I'm writing my curriculum as we speak.
Now they'll be able to stay home and still learn.
And I pitched it to them last week. And guess what? In my email box right now, I get to sign my contract for the next year, know? And then sometimes you just have to think outside the box.
Not sometimes. I think
I've always done that. I think that's second nature to me. Yes. I've always thought about doing other things.
But I think it's part of being an engineer because you don't see the problem. You see the solution first.
I do. I say, I can do that.
Because it's like you could go somewhere and there's a mess and all you're thinking about, okay, what is it going to look like when it's clean? Mm-hmm. You're not thinking about, okay, should I recycle this? Mm-mm. All this to us, it's a process. It's what we do in between. But all we know is the end result, which is, okay,
it's going to be
this
clean.
is going to be done.
Yeah, it's going to get done.
So let's see how we're going to get it done.
Yeah.
So you have to think outside of the box. You cannot be stuck in your ways and say, I've always been doing this and that's how they taught me how to do it. No, you have to step outside and look into the box and you'll see yourself there.
It's not too late. The libraries libraries are closed, but the internet is still on.
But even when the libraries were open,
I know.
Oftentimes people don't realize that back in the days, and I had the conversation with somebody who works for the library, automatically when you had a child at the hospital, they would give you that form.
Yeah,
you know,
automatically, a library form.
You have to have
like
a
voter's registration card.
And then I thought, well, that kid cannot go to the library. But it wasn't about the kid. It was about the mom getting the book to read
to the kid. Yes.
You know, and I remember I used to go all the way to Broward Boulevard to get French books. And the chamber had worked with West Palm Beach and Broward where we could have a section for Haitian or Haitian Creole or French book in the libraries.
Wow.
But you know what? We thought about having those people go online, do the ebook, read ebooks, and order the books and just go pick it up. We were trying to get there. We just didn't realize that we were going to be forced to do it.
Right.
But now, guys, you have no choice.
We don't have a choice. And then it's also, I think it's a sign of the times also. It's almost like I always find sometimes that the universe just squeezed me into doing different things. And then we have to take advantage of the time. There are a couple of things that I realize that this is doing for me. One, it's giving me a lot of patience. Two, it's giving me the time that I complained so much of not having.
Yes.
I complain so much. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to. You have the time now. There are so many free resources, and if you don't know them, call me or text me, and then I'll figure it out.
There's always somebody who could tell
who knows
you
a little
you
bit
know,
more.
Don't be so prideful and not ask something that you need, because
somebody
sometimes
knows
you will call somebody and somebody will tell you, well, I don't have it, but I know somebody
who does. Exactly.
Yes.
We do that to each other all the time, you and I. Yeah.
Yes.
So we always bounce back.
And that's very important.
There's a lot of free online training just for basic computer stuff. There's Microsoft Office free training also, just to understand the free tools that you can help online, or different free jobs that you can study for
and
online
if it's not
as well.
free, it's at such low cost. I have a friend of mine who wanted to finish their certification in project management. $25, $40. You could just go, and there's an array of classes that you were telling yourself that you didn't have the time to go to college and learn.
Now's your time.
Now is your time.
And there's so many grants right now that are out there for people to re-educate themselves, to understand how this works. Now, could you believe a lot of parents are pulling their kids out of school because they say, I might as well homeschool them now.
No, but not only that. Afterwards, even when the school opened, the parents are going to feel so comfortable and so safe.
Yes.
And this morning I was talking to somebody and I said, sometimes you're trying to look for good things in a bad situation, because you hear about the doctors, the nurses that are putting their lives at risk, the police officers, and so many other people, the postal services workers that they always forget. But you know what? This morning for 1 minute, I think the only good thing for my peace of heart, I didn't say peace of mind, is the fact that when was the last time you heard of a mass shooting at school? Because you know what, we used to have them every week.
You're right.
There was if you go to the statistics, and I used to look at the statistics and say, oh my God, it's almost one every day or two every so many days. And guess what? Not only they're not shooting the kids at school, they're not shooting their parents either at home.
Nope. No one's there.
So always look outside of the box. There's good and there's the bad, and the ugly is also there. But try to grab the opportunity that is giving to you to make a change in your life.
Yes.
And we don't want you to do a drastic change, because even Miss Shirley, and something that she didn't talk about that I'm going to force her to talk about, is the fact that, every time she was talking about something and she said, we haven't found a way to turn it into charity. So I'm sure that she's going to look forward to have free computer classes. Well, no. She won't have time to do that. But one of the things that I think she's also going to be doing is for the people who are qualified to work, if you pass all the tests that are necessary, whether it's language tests, the computer tests, she will find a way to loan you what you need to get started.
No, it's not a loan.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
It's not a gift. The way that we plan on doing it is the person is going to be given the equipment, and then what we plan on doing is after the 4th month of work, then we thought we'll take out $25 a paycheck to repay back.
Wow, that's a lot of help.
And then they get to keep the goal is I want you not only to be successful now,
but
I want you to take
it.
Yeah, because there's so many other things. The household may need a computer, not just for work, but maybe the kids need it.
Now she just give me work, because now I have to go find the fundings for her.
Yes, thank you. I love you for that.
I have to go somewhere and say,
I know that the
Haitian
American Chamber of Commerce will be more than happy to help me in my endeavor.
Definitely, we have to
my
find.
other.
No, but seriously, and you think about it really outside of the box. It's not a matter of, well, she has an opportunity to give people work and she's probably making money and she's doing this, but she's also giving you an opportunity not only to own the,
you can own
computer
it. Yeah,
afterwards.
I don't want it back.
If you decide not to work with her anymore, then you could keep on growing.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
She's not trying to lock you in
No,
here.
no. There's no. The only thing is that it's if you decide to stop working, and I'm getting these systems.
Mm-hmm.
I have really good friends and really.
Oh yes, I remember
lot of
for all the
places.
good people that you've been working for.
Who are building these machines for me at a really minimal cost.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you won't even, you go HSM, wherever it is, that are building these brand new systems for me. So for example, the system, it'll be a full desktop system. Mm-hmm. With 2 monitors, 2 20-inch monitors, keyboard, mouse. And you're gonna need a phone and a headset. So and all of that.
And she also have the contacts.
You know, I have the contact.
A Comcast business where you could get your phone and your internet at a low cost, because it's a requirement for you to be able to do customer service. Right. And those people eventually they could grow into having their own businesses, you know, later on. And it's all about growth. It's all about taking the opportunity for you to grow. It's all about us sharing the information that is necessary for you to grow.
Because sometimes people just need that. You just need the
that little push, that little encouragement.
Yeah, or even to see that, hey, you know what, I can do this, and then if I can do this, and I can do this, and then I can do that. Because this is a time where people can get really discouraged.
Yes,
you know, and I don't want us to get discouraged.
No.
You know, I want us to look up, because
I can
tell you right now that I think both you and we have reason not even to be on this show.
Yeah, because
my thing just hit me
home,
yesterday. You know,
I've had some calls throughout the week, and I had to actually turn off my phone,
right,
so that I don't bring that stress.
You know, my mother's a worry word. My mother posted on, you know, my mom, you know my mom really well, right? You know what mommy posted on Facebook the other day? It's not time to rejoice. It's time to be sad. This is serious. I'm like, mommy, are you serious right now? I said, no. We're not doing it like that. I know that you want to,
way.
But it's like, we're not doing it like that. You know, we don't want to do it old school like that. Yes. We want to turn it around.
We want to turn the sadness into empowerment.
Yes.
Because nobody knew that in the first quarter of this year, because so many people were looking forward for 2020, and within a quarter we have to change our lifestyle.
Totally.
We have to change how we see people.
Yep.
We have to change how we interact with people. And you know what? At the end of the day, the life is about the balance. And that's what we spoke about. Like being able to balance the good, the bad, the ugly, and all the punches.
Right. And then even if you are staying home, another thing that we're practicing in my household is also social distancing. I give my daughter and my boyfriend time alone.
But the dog goes from you to her to him. And the dog.
No, she stays with me.
Okay.
She stays with me. And the only person that she's friends with is either me or the person who's taking her outside.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah, so then even that, you practice, you give them their time. You know?
People need to.
Yeah, they need to have their own time.
Their me time, so they could heal.
Exactly.
So they could meditate, so they could take in what's going on, because it's a change for everybody.
It is, you know. And then I watch really serious stuff on television.
Oh, really?
Like I watch I love watching Homeland, or I watch Billions, you know, and I like watching all these shows and stuff. I don't watch them right now. So right now I watch 90 Day Fiance.
I don't want to do those either.
So I'll do like something really silly. I'll watch some cartoons and stuff just to make it light.
Yes, because
I watch some comedies. I watch some Jessie Fries, and you know, some Haitian comedy and stuff. You know, just to keep my mind off of it, not be too serious all the time.
Yes, because it's time of sadness, but you know, we still need to empower ourselves, because this too shall pass.
It will.
But Shirley, you know, time flies, and it was such a pleasure.
It's
such a delight to have you, and we
you.
could just continue this conversation on.
Thank you.
We're going to encourage people to give you a phone call.
Yes, please give me a call. My telephone number again is 727-735-1098, and my address is Shirl@notarybyshirl.com. There's a contact us on there. If you choose not to, you can always text me, and I will text you back. My phone stays on all the time. Don't be shy. Ask the silliest question or whatever it is. Don't be a stalker either. You know, that's not cool.
Send her an email.
Send me an email.
Ask her about something, and we'll definitely put our heads together to see how we could empower the community, how we could help you go over this
Right.
bridge.
Or if this is not your thing, if the work from home is not for you and you have some other ideas, maybe it's something that we can help you develop. You know, maybe if you have other ideas that you can, like I have a good friend of mine who actually made their own mask.
That's right.
You know, and then they
what
put
does it
their
say
logo
on
on it.
it?
Well, it's a logo that they put their own logo on there. Yeah, that they specialize
Somebody
them.
called me about that recently, and as a chamber, they said, "Oh, DJ, we need a seamstress." It's true.
You
So
see?
can you imagine how many people came from Haiti? They are seamstress, and now they could just stay home and do those masks. Because you hear so many things. Oh, those masks are not compliant. They're not certified. So it's a business.
It's a business now, and it's something. You know, même si and even if you don't have the actual N19 mask that they say is really, but at least you're doing something. You know,
and if the person is a seamstress and the person could sell, and there's a niche for people to buy it. Guess what? It's one person that we deter from sitting and being depressed and being sad.
Exactly.
You know, and that person from doing mass this week might be doing, I don't know, scarf next week.
Or,
you know what I mean?
Or my daughter's prom dress for 2 years from now.
And realize that they have a talent that they want to exploit a little more.
Exactly.
And Shirley, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I hope to have you soon again.
Whenever you need me.
Next time, because I didn't talk about charity. Next time we're going to talk about charity and how you help in Haiti.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Global Business Talk Show. And Gianna, thank you so much for having me.
Welcome.
Thank you to the audience for listening. You're not alone. We're here for you. You can always reach out to the radio show or Gianna. Know that we can always help each other find a niche, okay?
And we will hope that you will subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll be able to go to Haitian American Chamber of Commerce, or you could give me a call at 954-638-8321 so I could send you the link. Thank you. Until next week. You've been listening to the Global Business Talk Show. Remember to tune in next week for more guests, interviews, information about businesses, and beyond.